You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Like, weightlifters aren't normal human beings. You
The
can't
backups?
tell me that chick with the giant tubes on her head held the same weight as Obi-Wan.
Chaotic Mundi, sixth Jedi Man of the Year. Malfoy gets killed by apes, so it's pretty cool.
That was the pinnacle of the film.
All right. Welcome to a Born in the 80s special Lantz edition. I'm John Rowe, your host as always, and joining me is our co-host.
Lantz.
That's right, Lantz.
Back for the attack.
Back for the attack. What does that even mean?
Oh, I've been listening to Dawkins. That's one of their songs.
Wait, what is it?
Back for the attack.
Back for the attack.
By Dawkins.
Dawkins, yes. Would you...
Back for the attack.
How many trailer park children were conceived to that song? Probably not many.
Let me think.
That's not a screw-in song. Probably.
Well, you know, they were an opener when they toured.
Okay.
So
maybe people were banging then.
That's the time to bang. I mean, I'm not going to be banging when it's... You do your banging when you like tailgating, and then you like go out and Dawkins play them when you're tailgating.
Yeah.
If you want to go in and see Priest after. So.
Yeah, it's when you're doing the pregame.
More importantly, though, children birth to Dawkins. How about children, sleeves ripped off shirts while listening to Dawkins?
Yes,
That's got to be a higher number.
Is that common? Wait, are you saying they rip the sleeves off while they're listening?
You cut them off. You're listening to Dream Warriors or something, and you're just like, take it off.
That could work.
I mean, you get that 25-pound dumbbell, and you pump up. And you listen to Dawkins.
Yeah,
that's what I think. That's my understanding of 1986. I don't know what.
I was only one.
Anything else happened that year worth noting?
You were born, right?
Next year.
87?
Yeah, 87.
Oh, I thought you were 86.
Yep.
Oh, shit. So you're not even that old.
No. I'm about to be, though. I'm about to be 30, so then I'll be old.
Yeah, me too. I hit 31, so I'm very old.
It's all right, though, because every time I run into somebody who's in their early 20s, I don't envy them because they're fuck-ups. So I feel very good about that. I'm kind of like... What is there to envy? You don't know what you're doing with your life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. I mean,
like I don't want to tell them what they should or shouldn't do, but they're fucking everything up all the same.
Oh yeah. I don't really know.
So I'm not like clawing for youth at this point.
No,
I'm feeling good. You know.
No, I think if you asked most people what age that they would like to be stuck at, they would probably say like 28, 29, like right around 30.
Yeah.
Because, like, you haven't really started to fall apart physically yet, but you're not an idiot anymore.
That's what they think.
What are you saying?
I'm climbing up those stairs with my legs creaking.
I know. I think,
not complaining, but I wasn't a clone baby either.
No, I had a friend that who was like in his late 30s, so I worked with, and he said it was pretty much 26 is when you kind of start not feeling... Like, I think when you're like 25, you can do anything and you'll feel better the next day. When you're like 26, it's starting to be like, man, my legs hurt from walking around yesterday, versus just kind of having that endless.
Well, and I can deal with that. I can deal with anything as long as, like, it doesn't reach, like, needing my fucking knee drained or some bullshit.
Oh, it's going to happen, though, eventually.
Ugh. Well, that's when I'll truly be old.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever I turn into Kobe Bryant and have to go to fucking Europe to get blood spun or whatever he did, till he could come back and shoot 50 shots in a game and make less than half, and everybody had a parade for him.
Yeah.
When you
That's
have
what
to
Kobe
reach
does.
that level.
He did the most Kobe thing possible, which was score 60 points by taking 50 shots or whatever he took. So
by sucking and having everybody who didn't go to the games that year celebrate his greatness.
To be fair, they did win that game, so you got to give them credit on that one.
Listless Utah Jazz.
Yeah, but they did beat them, so it's not like it was. And if you score
It's
60 points and your team loses, it's like fucking duh.
More of an NBA guy than I am.
Yeah.
Is that game just mocked at this point?
Oh no, people just don't even. But people don't even like. It's not like a game that's like remembered, though. You know what I mean?
Okay,
it's
it happened.
And
people bought a T-shirt, and they're satisfied.
I guess he scored higher before, so it's like.
He also had seasons where he didn't drag everybody into the grave with him too. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
He buried a franchise.
Oh no, the Lakers are good again. So.
Well, now that he's gone,
yes, yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. He kept them down.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair enough. I mean,
but anyway, that's enough basketball.
Yeah. They got a new coach too, so that helps.
Well, Byron Scott looked like he was drinking a lot of.
I mean,
his eyes were like bloodshot. I remember watching some of his press conferences, and I was like, "Oh, this poor guy."
Yeah. Well, if you're like,
wasn't he on the shittiest Cavaliers team, and then he was on the shittiest Lakers team, almost back to back?
Yeah.
He'll never. He's got to be done, right?
Well, what I liked
he'll probably play before he coaches again.
Well, I think one of my favorite was what was the name? Who's the name of that Anderson Varejao, who was on the Cavs last year, and he got traded middle of the season to the Warriors.
Right.
And it was like, oh shit,
Sideshow Bob.
But it was funny because they said this is like no matter which team wins, he gets a ring because he played enough games with the Cavs to still get a ring because I think he played 20 or some more than
I guess because of the short contracts that they have, the 10-day contracts and things. They have a limit on how many games to play, which I never even thought of.
Yeah, if you're not
because in football, if you played at all, you got the ring.
Yeah, if you're not in the finals, like playing in the games for the team, like you have to have like played enough games during the regular season for that team to like still get recognized for the achievement. I mean, it makes sense,
right?
But it also is just weird.
Because you do have those weird like 2-day contracts where it's like, okay, you did nothing, get out of here. But we're gonna go send him a ring at that point.
But you can believe that ring doesn't really mean anything to him because the team he was on lost.
It's gonna get hawked.
He's like,
It's going straight to Pan America with it.
Pan America. I'd like to see a ring.
I'd hate to give out advertising to that dirty, hapless store.
Oh,
I'm afraid I just did.
I love Pan America. I love buying weird old shit there, like people's home videos that they hawk.
You do that?
Yeah, fuck yeah. The VHS section's got some joys in it.
You know what? You're probably right.
I've gotten some really weird shit from their VHS section. So.
Well, you found a virtue in that store that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah. Well,
all I think of is dirty golf clubs and stolen construction equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I see like a drill or something, I just assume it was a windshield or a window was shattered and reached in and some construction worker's truck got robbed.
Yeah, you pretty much a pawn shop.
Expensive fucking construction equipment. How sad does it get?
Yeah, you have to imagine that the pawn shop is probably 40% stolen goods at all times.
Well, yeah, and they get called out on how much of it? 5%?
Yeah.
Because anything under $500 isn't hot.
Yeah.
And anything over $500 is hot. Meaning that if you take it to another city or another pawn shop, which is what they do. They steal it. They don't take it to the same city.
Yeah.
But
I was hoping when my iPod got stolen out of my car, they would be stupid enough to pawn it in town. So I put I had the box, so
sometimes
I had the ID.
That happens.
So I had the ID. So I guess if you give it to the police, they give a list to all the pawn shops, and they have to like look through the list, before they sell it to make sure it's not a hot item, And so,
more likely they took it to Beloit and smoked crack afterwards.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they smoked crack out of my iPod, because that would be impressive.
That'd be a neat trick.
Yeah, it's a very expensive crack pipe. Because that is like
I think everybody who bought an iPod for the first 10 years of them existing or how long they existed pretty much had one stolen. So you're not alone. I had a car stolen with an iPod in it.
Oh, really?
So
you had
I feel your pain.
That was the car that the car that had no. That wasn't the you had the car that had
it ended up in tapes, Minneapolis.
Right? Remember the car we had the tapes because we recorded that pilot for the Access channel, the Lazenby, and someone stole the DV tapes.
No, that was a different vehicle.
But they stole the tapes out of the back of the car.
No, I figured out who did that afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You knew the person?
It was a fucking crazy roommate across the hall. did it.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Are you talking to my door?
Yeah.
The guy that we built a character in the show on, based on him?
Like, revenge on me because I saw him again, like, 3 years later, and he's like, don't I recognize you? And I'm like, I knew immediately who he was.
Yeah.
But he wasn't sure if I... And I kind of, like, was uncomfortable and talked to him a little bit, and he just knew a little too much about me still.
Yeah.
And I was like, at that point, I was like, I know it was you. It took me a second to, you know what I mean? It's a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't thought of it at the time.
Your crime sense?
But...
was tingling?
It's like yeah. No, I guarantee it was him.
Well.
Because he hated me, and, like... I just think it was him. I've accepted it's fact already, basically.
That was a really weird place that you lived in.
Yep.
That was how much was the rent there?
It was $425 a month.
Jesus. That's so expensive.
Is it expensive?
Yeah.
How is that expensive?
What did we pay when we lived in Middleton? Like $395 or $325 when we were splitting that one apartment?
Was it really?
It was like $880 for 3-bedroom.
That place is, like, totally different.
Yes.
They have, like, gone to the devil.
Yes. Oh, my God.
They're fucking evil.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone back to that apartment business.
Yeah.
And they just, like, you can tell they just want to screw everything.
Oh, yeah.
Screw everybody.
Oh, yeah. They screwed us with our deposit when we got back. Like, that deposit that we paid you and Adam for, and then we got none of it back because it was $250.
Yeah.
We got $25 back.
Right.
Which they sent us a check for $25 fucking dollars out of $250. So they just like put
Did they give you a list of
all this shit that wasn't done. I had oven cleaning need to be done. It was $50. Like just all this shit. I should have cleaned the oven, but like
I don't know if that's worth $50. We didn't hardly use the oven for anything other than pizza.
No.
How could
that's
it be
what
that
gets it
dirty?
The cheese drips. But I could have cleaned it, but I didn't want to because it wasn't worth it. Because cleaning an oven is fucking awful work.
No, dude, because you're worrying about inhaling fumes the whole fucking time.
So I was like, you know what? If they ding us, whatever. Like $20, $30, whatever. But no, it's $50. We got charged $100
What about the time they replaced
door?
our fluorescent light and the guy dropped it and fucking chemical fumes went everywhere? It's like, thanks, buddy. Oh, you didn't know when you unfastened one end that the long light was going to just swing back the other? No. No,
do you remember?
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that 3-bedroom apartment that we lived in together.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. Do you remember when the roof started leaking in the kitchen? It just started dripping water.
Yeah, it was because of the neighbors.
The neighbors upstairs dropped an aquarium.
They just like left it there.
I don't know, but it leaked through the floor.
If you drop an aquarium,
they broke an aquarium or something.
And even if you clean it up, you're gonna have that happen.
It's gonna seep down.
It's gonna leak anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how fast you clean it.
Yeah, it just started leaking into the.
The fuck do you drop like a big aquarium though?
I don't know. It's because that was the Latchkey kids' apartment. Remember?
Oh yeah. They were probably beating each other.
The children?
Parents.
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, I remember distinctly working when we lived there.
I never saw the parents. I don't know.
I never saw them either.
There's probably only one there. Ever.
No. Well, yes. So I don't know the situation, but I know the situation from what we observed was the downstairs. We were directly below them, and you could hear the shouting matches every morning, or at least I could, because I woke up because you and Adam both worked like second shift stuff, so you guys were just sound asleep.
That's
when this
the
was going
excuse
on.
That we'll go with for not noticing.
Fair enough. But like, but I was
Other
waking
than
up
just being lazy sods.
Yeah, well, I was waking up at 8 a.m. To go to work or whatever. Waking up so I could leave at like 8:30, get there at 9, and I could just hear the dad just yelling, or the man, maybe not dad, who fucking knows, yelling, and that was like sad. It's like, this is sad, and then there was never a guy yelling, and I think that's more sad. He was just gone.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But you remember that, right? Didn't they come up to you and ask you for food?
Yeah, you do need that male presence, even if.
Well,
but if it gets too bad, then you don't need it. But
you need your two parents.
Many
you know what I mean?
children, especially boys, need a parental figure.
That's true.
That's a man.
Yeah, you do. Well,
No,
even if you don't have a parental figure, you need
someone there to tell you not to be a pussy.
Well,
to push you a little bit.
No, I understand. I'm not saying it doesn't necessarily like.
My older brother did a lot of that too.
For
that
sure.
Was a good.
Well, that's the thing.
You got an older brother.
Well, you just need an older male figure to look up to. So even if your dad's dead or something, like you got an uncle or a grandfather that comes in and like hangs out with you and plays catch and tells you to not cry over your skin knee, put some
because
salt
you don't
on.
know how far you can push yourself
tablet.
until someone tells you to stop being a bitch.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I mean, you don't know yet.
That's what the weightlifters say. Like you can push through.
Well, they're
push harder.
They'll have you push until your rotator cuff falls off your fucking
that's true.
socket.
Yeah,
because they're maniacs. Don't trust those people.
Yeah,
but other than that, I mean, I
do want to say.
Like, weightlifters aren't normal human beings, though, so we don't want to be throwing them into this.
If you're at, like, a Planet Fitness or a, like, corporate, like, workout center, like, for, like, a business, like, center, like, so my businesses have, like, a gym that I can go to, and it's, like, shared between all these buildings that are around the same area. They all just, like, you can get a key card to go in there. If you're in this like tiny gym with all these like people after work just going on the treadmill and you're the guy who's like screaming out like reps, like what the fuck? Like that is
they do that?
No, but yes, I've heard it before. But you know what I mean? Like if you're that guy who's like yelling and lifting weights and then dropping the weights, that's the worst too. And they're just like do a deadlift and they're just like and they drop it and it just goes boom. And it's like you need to be at one of those dirty like
I want to hire like a private detective to follow that guy around, see the life that he leads.
Yeah,
don't you?
Yeah, I think that would be a fun job.
$150. I bet I could get the whole down low on some. I bet it'd take 2 days to figure out what this fucking
just
loser
follow
does.
them around. Check out where they live. Get a little phone tap
going. He went
going.
to the grocery store where he creepily hit on women near the dairy section.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those. That's so over the top, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Like NFL, great what?
Great movie.
Oh, right.
Over the top.
NFL players other than like James Harrison pretty much don't even lift weights like that.
Oh, I know.
They do it calmly in a manner of concentration.
Well, it's because
they aren't like grunting animals when they fucking.
Well, it's because they were trained by like a professional like lifting coach. So like this is how you need to lift. This is how many reps you need to do. And then, like, we'll meet next week, and I'll tell you what you need to do each time you lift. You know what I mean? Like, they have a plan. They're not just, like, some guys trying to tear their arms off and get a YouTube video of them lifting. Like, so many weightlifting fail videos.
Our friend, Petey.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he said Brock Lesnar trained him? I don't know if you heard about this.
I don't think that is at all what happens.
He, like, visited their gym, though? Because he was at Gold's gym.
Yeah.
And so Gold's brand, and they probably charged fucking tickets to this. I don't know about this.
Well, knowing Brock Lesnar, he is only doing it.
Could have been a university affiliation also. Yeah. I don't know how it happened.
Well, knowing Brock Lesnar, he was getting paid to do it. The man who has
absolutely.
Jimmy John's on his shorts.
Either the college or his gym was paying him.
He was getting paid a fee.
And maybe even on top of that, they charged tickets
to show up.
To do it.
Yes.
To have interaction. But he said that he and our friend Petey is as ripped as his frame could probably handle.
Yeah.
And he said that Brock just didn't understand why he wouldn't lift more.
Yeah.
He's just like, do it.
Oh, really?
He just kept saying, like there's guys like that, they just don't even...
Yeah.
Because it doesn't apply to them.
No, because he's a fucking freak of nature.
Exactly. It's like, it'd be like Brett Favre telling another guy to throw further.
Yeah,
or faster, or better.
Yeah, well, it's like the George Lucas directing style.
What is that style?
Well, if you've heard the interviews of them talking, is that he would just do it better, like do it more, louder, faster. Like, really? You know what I mean? Like, not really good directing at all, you know?
It's kind of great, though.
I know.
Who did he say that to? Like, everybody?
Yeah, everybody, yeah.
His whole career?
Well, his whole career is, like, 4 movies. So.
No, I know, but, like, he did that in the 70s, too?
Yeah, I think so. That was it. Yeah.
That's
I don't know if he got better, but that was...
better. You asshole.
Yeah, that's what I heard from the 70s ones. I think it was on one of the Star Wars documentaries.
I kind of respect George Lucas. You know why, though? My respect for acting has gone just right down the shitter the last 10 years.
Sure.
So I respect more in a director who badgers and annoys actors.
What precipitated this?
The selection of just the fact that it's like you can only have 5 actors anymore. It's driving me crazy. And I went to see a movie, or I'm going to go, I think tomorrow. I want to see Nocturnal Animals, right?
Yeah, I hope that's good. I heard it's really weird. I think the consensus is pretty positive on it, but I'm not certain.
But Jake Gyllenhaal has done some great things.
Yeah.
And it's a revenge movie. It's hard R, violence, sex, swearing.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get out and go to movies for a long time. I almost went to The Arrival, didn't end up going.
Yeah. I saw it. It was great. I loved it.
Great. Okay.
Watch it. You like the director?
Right. I do. I do like his movies. I almost went. I just I haven't. But the Nocturnal Animals, I'm definitely going to see.
Yeah. Just an Amy Adams kick, huh?
Amy,
she's in both of those.
I like her.
I do too.
In the Superman movies too.
I liked her a lot.
She's really hot.
I don't know.
I think she's got better looks than Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, she's she's older.
Yeah. Well, she's in her mid-40s. Yeah.
Is she that old?
Yeah.
I thought she was.
She has a really young face.
Well,
good genes.
She's. I don't know. I like her. I like her style.
I like her too. I like her as an actress. She's been nominated for Academy Awards quite a few times. I don't think she's won.
Wow,
yet,
she's had a whole career. I just found out about her 2 years ago. But okay, here's a good example. How about this? And this just annoys me with Hollywood. Colin Farrell's a guy who's got to be an immensely talented actor that has done probably 10 great movies.
Yeah.
But none of them have been huge Hollywood hits.
No.
So he's ended up in Harry Potter fucking spin-off movies now. And that is so depressing to me. It's just this guy was in London Boulevard, Intermission, Tigerland. These are great movies. And now he's in a Harry Potter spin-off movie, and he's trying to look on the bright side too. He's it's an opportunity to do a lot of... It's I think Colin, why? It's I know why. It's because he's getting old, and he needs to, frankly, keep his shit going so he can be in a good movie in 2 years.
Yeah, well, I think it has to do with him getting paid. That movie's going to pay out the ass.
But you also, it's more about getting paid. I think it's you need to keep your name out there, or else people won't think you're a film actor anymore.
Yeah, that's part of it.
You need to continue to be in films.
Uh-huh.
And if you're not, then they're like, oh, we got a TV pilot for you.
Yeah.
And then you're really fucked.
Well, he was on, was he in that season of...
True Detective.
True Detective. The newest one, right?
Yeah, the bad season.
The bad season. Yeah, I didn't watch that because I figured it would be bad, so I didn't watch it.
I watched it, and it was bad.
There we go. That's your quick review.
And a few good scenes had Vince Vaughn in them.
Yeah.
And they wasn't really worthy of me watching 8 or 10 hours of the show. I liked the scenes that were good, and Vince Vaughn was good, but...
Yeah, I think that first season was kind of
just shitty.
Lightning in the bottle. Just had some really good actors, kind of interesting premise, a good location.
Well, it was all about McConaughey.
Yeah, he was great.
He played the role of his career in that.
Oh, yeah.
He was mixing the insanity of his horror movie roles with the nice guy. I mean, he mixed every tool he had as an actor into that.
Yeah, that was some
people who don't know his career don't know he did these horror movies and had that dark side.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was mixing the whole thing.
That's probably the height of the reconnaissance.
Yes.
No, but he was in. Oh shit! What was that movie? Was it Killer Joe? Was the one he was in?
That was fucking great.
That's the one with Gina Gershon, right?
Yeah.
And family. Yeah.
And Emile Hirsch.
You need that. If you haven't seen Killer Joe, watch it. Also, Gina Gershon is bottomless in it, awkwardly for one scene. You're like, why are you not? She's not wearing underwear. She's wearing a top, if I remember. Right. And it's just what? But it's because they're a trailer park.
They're white trash.
Yeah, they're white trash. Yeah, so it was just gross, and it was oh, what the fuck? But it was awesome because he is basically Emile Hirsch is just in some shit, and he's like, all right, we got this kind of corrupt cop who'll take care of this guy for me, Killer Joe. He'll do it for a price. Of course, he doesn't have the money, so Killer Joe takes his younger sister.
Yeah.
Who's not 18.
Like really infatuated with his younger sister and wants to marry her.
And his younger sister is like 14 and also kind of spacey, and you don't know if she has some sort of disability.
Yeah, possibly.
And it's like, this is fucked up. And it's just, McConaughey is creepy and just terrifying in that movie.
I would say that in most of his best movies, he's creepy. I mean, let's be honest. I watched Two for the Money and the rom-coms.
What about Failure to Launch?
I didn't see that one, actually.
You didn't catch that one?
Kate Hudson,
Yeah, I don't get the appeal.
Not feeling it.
Nah. Sorry, Kate.
And if we want to blame her for something, not that I would blame her.
Sure.
But she clearly ended she broke up the Black Crows, so that's on her.
You're saying that? You should put that out there.
That's pretty much on record.
Uh-huh.
They got divorced and the Black Crows got back together, and then the second breakup, that was their fault.
Yeah.
The first one, I think that they... But you know what? The Chris Robinson's a spacey fucking weirdo anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't... You know what I mean? Maybe that's not right to say, but...
Well...
The feeling at the time was that they got married, there was a superstar couple, and the band broke up.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like a coincidence in the early 2000s when that happened.
She certainly didn't help.
And they didn't help themselves, so...
I don't know a single song by this band.
Really?
No.
What about Twice as Hard?
Nope.
Or what was that?
I saw that movie.
Otis Redding cover.
But that movie was rated,
hey,
rated
little
X.
thing, let me light your candle, 'cause mama... Oh, Hard to Handle.
Oh, okay.
They covered that. They did the
I think I've heard
rock
the original,
version.
though, and I don't think I've heard the... Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, the rock one. The one that was popular in, like, the late 90s.
Yes.
Okay, I think I've heard that. Okay, I know a Black Crow song.
It was like a big debut album, and it kind of dropped off from there. But they were
Black Crowes.
A solid band.
Solid band. Solid gold.
They got really into weed and just kind of... I don't know what direction that was.
Yeah, they just kind of got into weed and fell off the face of the earth?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty familiar. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
No, but I know, it is kind of annoying when a band just kind of takes a weird direction, and you're just like, well, see ya. Like, I'm going to stay here where we were, and you're going to go over there.
On Earth.
Yeah. I mean, the only band that really, I think, benefited from taking a change of direction is probably the Beatles. Well, there's probably others, too, but the Beatles are a good example of, let's do not just pop music and do weird psychedelic pop music, and it was like, probably because the genre was moving in that direction, they basically pioneered both sides of it, you know? So it was
they started out kind of doing what others had done.
Yeah.
With like the Twist, they ripped off the Twist.
Yeah, they had all these covers.
And let's be honest, that's a fucking ripoff.
Oh no, 100%. Like when the Beatles started, it was like, oh, you know, all this fun music. It's like, you know, this is like completely ripping off like so many black musicians,
and specifically that one, Chubby Checker.
Yeah,
Twist
Chubby
and
Checker.
Shout is a ripoff of the Twist.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever. But that was the music that was popular in the clubs, so that's what they did.
Well, I mean, but they still, yeah. I mean, those songs are still enjoyable, even though they're ripoffs.
Yeah, for sure. They're good musicians. Yes. Like they do a very good version.
They showed even at that point when they were mimicking other things that they were kind of they had a talent to put songs together with catchy titles. And
I don't think we need to talk about how great the Beatles are because I think people know.
Well, you know what's funny though? We can
Yeah.
keep it with the Liverpool theme.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if they're from Liverpool, but Stones put out a new record.
The Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if they're from Liverpool either, but they're from England, so.
No, they're actually not. They're not, but they're from...
They're from the same era, though. You know what I mean?
In England. I can't
but I mean,
remember
like, they're from the same era, the 60s, England.
Right.
Like, the same scene. But they were more hard rock, less psychedelic.
But they put out this record...
Recently?
Yes.
They're still putting music
out. A week
out.
ago, and it was called Lonesome and Blue, or Blue and Lonesome.
Is it about David Bowie not being around anymore to hang out with Mick Jagger?
It's not, and I can tell you it's not. You know why? Because they didn't write any songs on it.
Yeah.
It's a blues cover record, which would be great if they hadn't recorded 8 fucking blues cover records in the 60s already.
It's like we already heard the best stuff.
And guess what? The production sounds exactly like old production.
Yeah.
You can tell they probably even used vintage analog.
Yeah, that's awesome, though. Good for them.
But then once you hear it, it just sounds exactly like stuff that you've heard them do.
Yeah.
It's like, some people love it.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you know.
If you like it, you like it. Whatever.
For me, I felt I'd done that before.
Yeah.
The band sounds in great form, though. I'll give them that. I heard the songs, and Jagger sounds amazing for his age. I mean, he sounds like there's nothing wanting in the vocal.
I mean, we could talk about music a lot. Like, this year was just, I mean, as far as it was an absolutely, like, terrible year because so many amazing celebrities and musicians died. Like, it's just like...
Was there... I keep hearing that, but I quit going to certain websites, so I'm a little behind on everyone is just like saying this is the death year or something, but I don't remember a lot of people. I mean, Lemmy died. No, that's last year. I don't even know who died.
Prince.
Right.
David Bowie. I mean, you have a lot of really...
Those are icons.
Icons, like huge icons in music dying. I don't know. A lot. But you know what's funny? I don't think anyone else checked anything off their death list this year from our Deadpool that we started so long ago.
You know what? Yeah, there may be... I think that Deadpool's expired. I think
it's been like 5 years.
Kirk Douglas, by the way.
He's still alive.
100 years old.
Fucking ridiculous. You cannot kill...
I will never bet against Douglas fucking jeans again in my life.
But like if you like think of actors, everybody died. Like Abe Vigoda died.
Right.
You know, it was coming, you know, but it happened. He was like in his 90s. Uncle Leo from Seinfeld, that actor died. Like just so many people died.
Did Uncle Leo push the whole thing over the top where it became the sad year?
No, I don't know. But anyway, just you know, whatever. But music this year was absolutely incredible. So many albums came out that were just like albums came back basically.
What do you mean?
Well, like if you want to talk about like music, how kind of pop had moved to like we're going to put singles out, we're going to put music videos out. You had so many albums just dropped this year that were just full albums. You know, like people were like, you know, album's dead.
Oh, everybody's still doing albums.
I know, but like this year was like, okay, the album isn't dead because, you know, Beyonce put out Lemonade, which was a concept album that was, you know, you listen to the whole thing. Solange, her sister, put out an album that's a concept album.
By the way, what was the concept of Lemonade? Just wondering.
Black people still have it pretty rough, which was the concept of Solange's album.
Do they have lemonade stands, or where's the lemonade coming?
I have no clue.
You couldn't get to the bottom of that? Or
no, I haven't listened to it. You know why? Because you have to stream it on Tidal, which I don't have, because Jay-Z's streaming service, Tidal, is the only place you can get Beyonce's album, or you could buy it.
Right.
Which is lame. Her sister's album, I listened to, is very good. It's kind of an R&B soul album, you know, and that's incredible.
Was she in Destiny's Child?
No.
Okay.
Just her younger sister. But she's an incredible singer as well. You
okay.
know, talent kind of runs in the family.
Once they run it through the board.
Well, it's really interesting because she had put out some pop music, and then she just came out with this, like, Motown, like, soul album.
Okay.
And it's, like, awesome. Like, it's kind of been just kind of a renaissance. Like, Chance the Rapper put an album out finally after doing mixtapes. This is the first one you could buy. All of his albums have been free on the internet, and so he put that out. And Kanye put out Life of Pablo. I mean, it was just so many big albums from so many big stars came out this year.
Okay.
You know, versus last year when, like, shit came out.
Well, and
I think everyone was just on an off year, you know?
If I knew a couple that I could mention from what I listened to,
yeah.
I know Hardwired from Metallica.
Oh, yeah, Metallica put out an album.
Big one.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
I heard parts of it that you showed me. It's not my favorite Metallica album.
That was actually the good parts. When the rest of the songs came out, they were worse than that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, I don't know. They really think they're the shit, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, and what was the other? Avenged Sevenfold. They pretty much just took themselves right off that top tier. They didn't tell anyone they put a record out.
Yeah.
And they said, it's out now.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? People were like, they didn't care and they didn't know because there was no promotion.
Yeah.
It didn't sell very well.
Yeah.
Sold like a quarter of the last record.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I don't think that was a good idea.
Yeah. So
I heard it and there were all these songs about astrology on it. And I'm like, what?
It's just been like...
It's a little weird for them.
Just like an absolutely incredible year for music, though. Like it's Gucci Mane got out of jail, so he's back in Atlanta. It's amazing. He's back. He dropped an album as soon as he got out of jail.
Snoop Dogg, is he back?
Those people don't do music anymore. Those people just hang out. No, but Atlanta's where it's all at now. So yeah, he put out an album. Race Remord put out their album Black Beatles. Great song. I listen to a lot of rap now. So.
Oh, okay. So where's this whole movement taking place?
Atlanta. Yeah.
It's Atlanta.
Oh yeah, ATL.
So we got
2 Chainz putting out
Walking Dead and this happening.
I'll tell you why.
All in Atlanta.
You know why? Because Atlanta has like really good, I guess, taxes and fees for filming. So a lot of stuff gets filmed there because I don't know.
Something Wisconsin flirted with.
And then we didn't.
Then we flirted.
Yeah, exactly.
So it goes 8 months.
Yeah, exactly. We were like the Springfield when they did Radioactive Man in The Simpsons. When they like got all the Hollywood people there and they started taxing them for everything, so they left. But yeah, it's fucking incredible. And then Donald Glover put out the album "Awaken My Love," I think it was called. And I don't know if you've listened to that, but he was Childish Gambino, right? And he did kind of comedy rap stuff, you know.
Wow, I didn't know that such a genre existed.
Yeah, Donald Glover, future Lando Calrissian.
Is he Lando?
He's going to be Lando. It's perfect because he's a guy that could sell you Colt 45, so it works. That's where Lando was before he was Lando. So I think it's perfect casting. But whether or not that movie needs to exist is another question.
Young Lando is a movie, or
no, it's the Han Solo movie, the prequel.
Young Han,
like losing the Millennium Falcon to Lando, you know, kind of all that, or winning the Millennium Falcon off of Lando. But yeah, that story that doesn't need to be told because it was fun as a story. But well, I guess we're gonna see it all played out with young actors. So great.
You'll go see it, and that's enough.
I don't know if I'm gonna see it.
Really? It sounded like you were excited for a moment.
I'm excited for the new one, Rogue One, just because it looks dark and a lot of people die in it. So, but now the young Han movie sounds more promising. The Rogue One, I was watching the trailer and I had a hard time understanding why on earth I would want to watch a movie based on a subplot of another Star Wars movie. I was like, I really don't see how that's... It's not like the Death Star battle or whatever. I mean, it was a battle that lasted like a day. Yeah.
It's not like World War II, perhaps, where you could have subplots and battles and everything, the way that played out. The whole fight with the Federation and everything seemed to basically be, we blew up that planet and then we got blown up.
Yeah.
And it all happened very quickly. And then afterwards, I don't know, maybe some stuff could happen in between, but...
Oh, no, I think it's great. I think it's interesting to see more of it because we kind of see the Death Star as it becomes operational. Like, it's like, now we can blow up planets. They're talking about in Rogue One, it doesn't blow up planets, it just, like, destroys half of a continent on a planet now. And it's kind of flown around terrorizing people and stuff, and basically hovering over a planet and ransoming people and stuff. And so it just seems like it could be interesting because the Death Star was awesome, and the new Death Star from The Force Awakens was lame as shit. So,
well, if only they hadn't done that.
Yeah.
I would be more appealed to Rogue One if they hadn't been that stupid thing.
I agree. I totally agree. The Force Awakens really kind of like
undermines the idea of Rogue One. It dilutes. Now there's been 3 Death Stars, and they all just got their asses whooped, and it's just not that majestic anymore.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the way.
The reason why the second time when they did the Death Star, the second time Endor was interesting because it was being built. It was like in the middle of being built, so it was kind of like, oh, it's the backup they had that they hadn't finished building, you know. So that was kind of killing the rest of the Empire. Like they don't have any more of that, and now it's like, oh no, we built another one. Out, it's like, okay, what? Like, you built we
also
killed
the Jedi clearly don't have their shit together if they're allowing these people to build fucking Death Stars.
But then they're no Jedi, so there's one. There's
after Return of the Jedi,
there's
The Force Awakens, there was no Jedi.
Well, it's only like 30 years.
That should have all been a celebration of the greatness of Jedi.
There aren't any Jedi. There was Luke. That's all there is. Luke and Leia.
Kickstarted kind of like the Return of Jedi?
No, because they killed all of them. That was the whole point of the Clone Wars, killing all the Jedi.
The Sith always come back, so why can't the Jedi come back?
Well, and there were only like 2 Sith as well. So it's like the idea was they had basically killed...
my God.
There's only ever 2 Sith. There's always the Master and the Apprentice for Sith. So...
You know what, though? That's a good thing. Because when they had 12 Jedi in those one movies, a lot of them were half-assed. So
they were the bench warmers. They were the backups.
Tell me that chick with the giant tubes on her head held the same weight as Obi-Wan.
Ki-Adi-Mundi, sixth Jedi Man of the Year. No, totally though.
Yeah, maybe you're better off with like two. You know, the master and apprentice.
And that's kind of the plot of the way that the books went, which are being scrapped for this. But the books were kind of like, all right, I'm going to go see if I can find people that can use the Force but didn't get discovered yet, so we can try and rebuild the Jedi Order.
What they need to do...
And they're kind of doing that now.
...is kind of integrate some plot elements that haven't been used before.
Yeah.
That's the main problem with Force Awakens.
I think that's what I have hope for with the 8th movie, because the director, Rian Johnson, is pretty inventive, direct a looper, like...
It's okay.
Let's hope he's like, all right, let's do something new. Let's do something fresh. We don't need to remake a movie with new people,
right.
Which was fun at the time a little bit, but looking back, I haven't bought it on DVD. I don't need to
For me, it wasn't fun at the time.
I thought it was all right.
I would have left in the middle, but Luke hadn't shown up yet. When I saw Han go off that fucking thing, I was
Spoilers.
Like, I'm going to go. Well, he just went off a thing. I didn't say what happened. But when that happened, I was getting ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, that's it. This was no good. And I was like, just wait. And I haven't seen Mark Hamill. Hamill's in this. I got to wait, you know. Of course, it's the last frame of the whole movie.
I think the biggest problem with those movies was, like, they kind of catered to the nostalgia too much, so it was kind of a crutch.
I have nostalgia. It wasn't my nostalgia they were catering to, though. It was a bizarre nostalgia they were catering to. I didn't know what they were trying to do.
They were just like, remember Han Solo, how fun he is? Chewbacca is fun. Yeah, let's have them be kind of big parts in this. It's like, all right. Like, I kind of liked John Boyega. I like that guy a lot. Like, the Stormtrooper guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I love that actor. And he's fun in the parts he's in, but there's a lot of Han Solo in this movie. It's like, all right. Like,
well, that wasn't Han was the only one keeping the thing on track, though. The other actors were...
Well, that's because they were
too green to be carrying a movie of this magnitude.
How about this? Maybe not even that. I don't think that. I think that they were just put on the back seat instead of in the front seat where it should have been. And that was kind of the problem.
They didn't have the credibility or the talent to be in the front seat.
Well, I mean, Oscar Isaac's really good.
Which one was he?
He was Poe Dameron,
he was good.
Pilot.
You know,
he's
I
great.
Him.
Poe Dameron's great.
I think the rest of these actors, this was their first time doing a major movie.
John Boyega's he was in Attack the Block, if you'd seen that. That was I forget who directed Attack the Block. It wasn't Edgar Wright, but it was,
it seemed to me that they wanted to kind of bank the movie on the proven actors a little bit more, because it's a lot to, like, you can just flat out have, I mean, Hayden Christensen, when he was the star of the second movie, that's an actor not being able to carry a movie. And I think that's what they didn't want. They were like, oh my God, if we go in here and they stink.
The sad part about that is that in that third movie, he gets so much better, but it's too far. It's too late. Like, it's already so bad. Like at the end of that movie when he gets real evil, that works. But like,
I like the third one.
I do too. And him trying to be fun, though, in that second one is just like, dude, you're going to turn into Darth Vader. Like, get to the dark side part, because that's all we're here for. Like, and then having Jake Lloyd. What the fuck? How does Jake Lloyd turn into... Never mind.
Yeah. We don't want to go too far down
the rabbit hole of bad casting.
Yeah. Then it starts a whole Star Wars thing, and I honestly... I basically kind of said what I think about it, and
I'm just kind of...
I'll be nitpicking if I get into anything else.
I'm just so disappointed. I mean, I think that's probably why I'm more excited for Rogue One, because it's not a story with the main characters that we remember. It's like trying to do something new, at least. Like, here's some new characters.
Okay.
Because I hate the Hollywood rehash.
Well, I guess this is all drummed up because
culture.
The movie comes out like a week, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you're getting like really pumped up. And...
I'm not like super excited. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I hope it's good. You know, but I'm not like, oh, I already bought my tickets. You know, like,
no, that's not going to happen for this. People aren't going to have already. This is not going to be a sellout like all weekend. Like, Lord
Force
of the
Awakens
Rings type of thing.
I mean, Force Awakens is insane.
No, but
People had sold that out all the way through.
Rogue One will not be
No,
like a weekend
that's incorrect.
sellout.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story, because they had to put the a Star Wars story into the title.
The first night, I mean, I don't know. It's not gonna be a sellout.
It'll sell out the first night in Madison for sure, but after that, who
at
knows?
certain times,
that's what I'm saying.
It starts at like 10 a.m. People aren't going to be selling it out at 10 a.m. Force Awakens did. Yeah. Actually, Force Awakens didn't even do that because I bought my ticket opening day at like 10 or 11 a.m.
But I mean, we're not a big enough city, but the 5 p.m. on, it's going to be sold out.
It will be
for the first couple
You're
days.
Right. Especially but it won't carry over in the next week. That way.
Especially because of how few. Well, unless it's really good,
it's going to make
you know what I mean. Like that's the thing. It needs to be really good. It can't live off of its name. You know,
in the U.S., it'll probably make a couple $100 million, but
be proven wrong, Lance, because I think the Star Wars.
This movie will not cross the $1 billion mark worldwide.
Oh,
There's
Lance,
no way.
Throwing the stake down.
Whatever Doctor Strange did, this is what it's going to do. Yeah. That's where I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
which is very profitable. But
all right,
people know it's a spinoff.
Oh.
We get cats going crazy.
That's Spinelli. I heard the Christmas tree is up, and I think she's fucking around with it.
But you know what? I only think that because I have no interest in the movie until people basically like drag me to see it because they think it's so awesome. Then I'll be interested.
Well,
if somebody comes to me and is just like so excited about it that they have to tell me, okay,
I'm sure it's good.
Then I'll be
if it's good, I'll be happy and I'll see it. If people say it sucks, I probably won't go because.
You'll go anyway, probably. No?
I didn't go to Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, but that sucked.
I saw Arrival.
It looks like it sucks anyway.
I will say this: that Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
How's that?
Way better than I thought it was going to be. The trailers make it look ridiculous and stupid, and the movie is like, what if you had the Harry Potter world but with adults as the main characters? With better acting. So it's interesting, actually. I really liked it. Like,
all right.
I was so expecting it to hate it, but it was like, it's kind of nice having like the main characters be adults that work in like the magical government and like some guys trying to smuggle animals into the country. And I know it's just like there's stakes, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, they're not like school having a fantastical wonder time. It's like, hey, you let a bunch of monsters out into the city, and now there's a crazy smoke monster murdering people, and we think you're the one that did it. And I'll say this, Lance. They put characters to the death penalty in this movie, and the wizarding way of killing people in the U.S. is the most horrifying thing you can ever imagine. So how about this? They have a chair, right?
Okay.
In the middle of a white room, and the pit is just black, like oil goop. And there's like these attendants. They're just like these, like they feel like lobotomized people. And they're like, "Oh, come with us. It's not so bad." And they like put you on the chair, and then like they do the thing where they pull like one of your memories out and they put it in the pool.
Right.
And then like the black goo starts going on you. You start remembering your childhood.
Okay.
And like you're like. It just like consumes the entire person into the goop. It's like.
The goop becomes you?
It's fucking terrifying. It like pulls your memories out. Like it sucks your brain out. It's insane.
Are they still alive after then?
No.
They're
gone.
Like dissolved?
I don't know. Spoilers. It doesn't kill the person. They escape just in time, but it looks like it's about to suck them down.
These are the good guys doing this?
Yes. Well, they're not good guys. It's the government.
Oh,
it's the magical government. It's the U.S. government, so they're very strict.
U.S.? I thought this was all Britain.
No, it's in the U.S. as well.
Oh,
New York.
So we're the bad guys.
No.
Okay.
The magical government in the 20s was backwards. You know, like.
Oh wow!
And
I like how many layers there are.
But I mean, it's the same thing with Harry Potter. It was like the government has like I don't want to spoil too much with the movie, but like some of the higher up people,
it's a new movie,
are
still.
Bad guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everyone is a good guy.
That's to be expected.
So it's like
there could be like
the guy who orders them killed may not actually
Born Identity type of thing going on at the top.
Yes, exactly. Like there's people that have infiltrated spies from are doing shit. So And the people, of course, it's like a spy movie, though.
Black, they ask him about Project Treadstone and fucking
yes, yes,
take his memories out.
But like the idea is like they take. Yeah, I mean, like it's exactly like one of those movies. Though,
I can't believe Harry Potter has gotten so far down the line.
Yeah.
That this is happening in a Harry Potter movie.
So it's like the person who knows the bad guy
on here.
Yeah, the person who like discovers the secret of like the bad guy who's like infiltrated the government, and the guy's like put him to the death penalty.
Oh
you know what I mean? And so like they have to follow his orders, and it's like no, he's wrong. He's lying. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's darker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, and the main plot's kind of about like people that beat children. It's darker.
What is up with this movie?
I know, it's dark.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I know.
And then now hear all this, and it really doesn't sound like the same.
Those Fantastic Beasts are quite fantastic, and they are in parts of the movie.
Okay.
But the overall like background.
Did any of them get beheaded?
No.
Like that one movie, Azkaban.
Oh, yeah.
Where they beheaded that thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The hippogriff.
Yes. Let's kill the hippogriff and then use the time turner to go back to save it. But let's not use the time turner to save Dumbledore.
Well, no.
But because we could. We've got it still. Can we do that?
Dumbledore made his bed.
I know, right?
All right, this is a good time for a break.
Yeah, this is a good time for a break. He pulled the Obi-Wan. He was like, "I'm more powerful dead than alive."
All right.
At the end of that
take your
movie.
word for it.
All right, we'll take a break. All right, we're back. Took a little break. Oh, Lance, you want to point your mic a little bit more towards yourself? I know it's turned a little bit.
Like this?
Like you want the light in front of it directly on you.
Oh. Boom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, because you want to be talking directly into it.
All right.
Yeah, that's better, actually. I can even hear it now. It was fine before, but it'll be even better now.
Okay.
So I'll just restart. All right, and we're back from the half. How you doing, Lance?
Good.
You said you had an interesting story you wanted to go over.
Well, we planned this get together. It's been a while in the making here, a couple weeks.
I think I was gone a weekend. You were busy a weekend, so
we would have done it last week, but it didn't work. And yeah.
So I think the thought is we're going to probably try and release these about once a month.
Yeah.
So
that'll work.
These will be on the Born in the 80s feed, but they'll be like Born in the 80s, maybe Saturdays with Lance or something.
Yeah,
we'll come up with a fun name.
We'll have a
for
moniker.
Each one. Yeah, and then we'll number those. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like these,
it's really not. Excuse me. It's really not. I've listened into the show that is Born in the 80s, and I think it's just a different vibe. What we're doing,
mm-hmm.
and
well, there's a lot of difference between recording
and it's also a difference in the way
not.
The approach, because we're doing it live here.
Yep,
we're not having
it's not over the internet.
Go over the internet,
or live chatting with viewers.
It's not to say that another host can't pop in and do, but if they do, I would prefer live. Wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
We got the 3 mics.
I got a third mic, so
if a third person wants to come
Lauren
in,
wanted to jump in.
That's happened before.
Yeah, for sure. I just need to get some more equipment. I'll probably buy some more. I'll buy another shotgun.
But I had, and if this evening wasn't so kind of planned already, I got a call.
Wait, was this about the roller derby?
No, I don't know anything.
I almost called you to ask if you wanted to go to the roller derby that's going on.
What now?
It's tonight. Yeah. The only problem is that
where is the venue for that?
The Alliant Energy Center.
How much are tickets?
I don't even know.
Is that like a professional? It's got to be. It's got to be a professional roller derby.
It's the local stuff, yeah. But I mean, that's as professional as you get. So it's like they have
visiting
teams.
League.
Yeah. They have like the Milwaukee team. And
that'd be cool.
We'll have to go sometime.
I'm up for it.
I just knew the weather was going to be shitty, and we wanted to record this, so it was kind of like,
no,
but short notice.
Hey, let me know in the future.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I got a call from a coworker who I finished my shift with the night before, right?
Yeah.
And he was in perfect health.
Uh-huh.
And he calls me, and when I get calls, I hate my voicemail, so I saw the bar called, and I just called him right back.
Yeah, I don't listen to voicemails either. No. Just call back.
He picked it up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, so last night I got my ass kicked, and I think I broke my jaw.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you could come in and work for me. And I thought about it. Well, what happened, man? Like, I was like, you don't have to tell me the whole story, but
yeah,
what happened a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, did you get your ass kicked at the bar? You know, where we
work?
Yeah. And he's like, no, I was at a house and I just got my ass kicked. And I know exactly why this happened.
Okay.
But I thought about it for a second. I was like, look, I really can't bail out. I just have had plans in motion.
Oh, you want tonight?
For tonight. And I'm like, I just can't do it.
No, for sure. It's like,
I was
postpone this
and
twice.
I told him, if you're feeling bad on Monday, I have that day off, I'll come in. It's no problem.
Yeah.
But I just have to do something tonight.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's fine. I know exactly what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
I told him. When was this?
This is an I told you so moment? Like,
well, I mean, yes.
Okay.
I'll own that.
All right.
I made a joke about, and I don't tell people how to live their lives or whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
one shouldn't.
I heard when he started working at the bar where I worked, I'll just call it the bar.
Yeah, local bar.
Local bar.
Somewhere in Madison.
Somebody smashed in his side mirror and his taillights and his headlights.
In the parking lot of the place? Oh, my God. Okay.
So somebody was very pissed.
Yeah, why would you do that?
And so I said to him, kind of like, I was kind of intimating something. I said, sounds like maybe you got into something that you should not have. Is that possible?
Oh.
And he's like, he took it one step further and he goes, I got into some girl I shouldn't have. Hey-o. He didn't do the hey-o thing, but
you didn't do the
he was like a little carefree about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think when people are chasing you with rocks, you should take a little bit more.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more careful.
Yeah. Wait, he was cheerful after his stuff got smashed?
He was like, oh, I live this crazy life. I'm having a great time. I'm banging these chicks. I'm doing all, you know what I mean? That was the attitude.
Are these chicks worth getting stuff broken over?
Well, we can get to that.
Okay.
This one I didn't see.
I got to imagine the type of people that hang out with this guy can't be worth that. Like, I would be
they would never be worth that to you.
No, fair enough. That's true. I'm engaged.
You gotta understand.
But like, let's say it's like a supermodel. That I can understand.
No.
Like,
these are like
Giselle Bundchen, and then Tom Brady's breaking your window.
6.5s.
We're just talking bar patrons,
bar girls here.
Yeah.
And so he started working there, and he can't really handle himself either. So he just kind of like we'll call him Dan. Dan has a habit of finishing a shift and getting blackout drunk after the shift
at the place that he works at.
At the place,
of course.
Well, you get the discount.
Okay.
So anyway, I was like, and as I was asking that time, you were somewhere you shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
You were involved in something you should have been, because if somebody's that fucking pissed off at you to smash your vehicle, then you could have avoided it typically.
Yeah.
Unless somebody is totally insane.
Yeah. You could have diffused.
But I kind of saw what, anyway. So then last night when we were working, he had another bad night. He has just nothing but bad nights.
Okay.
He's like, oh man, I hurt my pelvic bone. I'm like,
how?
He lifts up his shirt. He's got this huge scrape right here.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I was jumping into a pool. I'm like, what, you at a hotel? He's like, no, I was at a friend's house. I'm like, okay.
An indoor pool.
Apparently.
Okay.
At someone's house.
Fair enough.
And he fucking dove into a 4-foot pool.
Yeah.
And just scraped the whole bottom of his pelvis there. Or the side, rather. It's just the side.
Okay.
I'm like, what are you doing diving into a 4-foot pool? Don't you know you just walk into those? You take the little steps, or you do a little jump in.
You do a little hop, just a little.
If I was gonna dive into a pool, I'd be like, what is the depth here? You know?
You got 10 feet?
Is this... Because it could be 6, and I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with 6.
No.
It's got to be at least 8, right?
Yeah, you want 8.
8 to 10.
8 to 10, somewhere in there.
4?
Yeah.
So he did that. Okay. And he's like, and I don't, I take this very seriously because, and I love this shit that people say.
Yeah.
I take this very seriously because my brother, one of his friends, was drunk on a dock and fell off and broke his neck and died.
Oh, my.
And I'm like, well, okay. And I'm like, that's horrible. And he's like, yeah, so I don't want that to happen to me. I'm like, well, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Me to...
Don't put yourself in that situation and it won't happen to you.
Never worry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just that, if, he's a little older than me, actually.
Okay. But clearly not wiser.
No.
Older, not wiser.
No, not wiser.
Fair enough.
But, and the other thing though, okay, now I'll kind of get to the point here.
All right.
I knew, 3 weeks ago, he said he hooked up with this girl, this redhead. By the way, she wasn't redhead. She had dyed auburn hair.
Okay.
So I wouldn't call that a redhead.
Fair enough.
And she was in her early 20s, and he banged her out, and that was all great or whatever.
Yeah.
And he woke up, and then he came to work, and he was a mess and eating a McMuffin because he had no place to make breakfast, or I don't know what the hell's going on.
Sure.
Anyway, that's his story, and kind of like, and he's like, the crazy thing is, and, he told everybody at the bar separately.
Of course.
It's just like, well, why don't you just like address all of us then if you're going to have a fucking
Call a
state
meeting
of the fucking union.
Yeah.
Here.
State of the fucking union. Yeah.
He needed everybody. The owner came in, then he had to tell him the story. I mean, it's like everybody had to know. He's like, I fucked this chick. It happened. He just needed everybody to know.
That's the only reason why you do that. Is so you can brag about it.
Right. Oh, and the details, I think I would have been better off without. I don't need to know how many times so-and-so orgasmed, especially when you're talking to another guy. I don't really want to hear that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good in bed.
Yeah, well, I don't remember it. Here's the line. I don't remember anything about it, but, like, she said she orgasmed 4 times. I know.
She said that. To you? Okay, yeah. That's not something you brag about. Like, does it matter?
It's not something I even want to hear, but...
Does it matter? It doesn't matter to the story.
No.
Like, what's that... Yeah. Anyway.
His prowess.
It's like a movie.
His prowess and his ability. Mm-hmm. Clearly being... what's the wrestling phrase when you put... He was putting himself over.
Yeah, he was putting himself over. Exactly. The wrestling phrase.
To every person he worked with.
He was walking around... Getting up on top
about
of
a one-night stand.
Getting on top of the corner post, raising his arms up, Like, it's like, all right, buddy, we see you. We heard. All right. Fucking right. Jesus. Trying to make himself look good.
And this is where the problem lies, because he said, and the crazy thing is, like, she's got a fiance.
Oh.
And I go, okay, well, that's bad. And he's like, but... She said that he doesn't mind that she steps out. You know what I mean? And he didn't use the phrase "step out," but that was my invention. But
I like stepping out.
That's the way I like to kind of class things up a little bit when things get too kind of bogged down.
That's a fun way of calling it.
One night stand world of seediness. I like to kind of add a little flair to it.
Yeah.
And a little fun.
Yeah.
So when she steps out, he looks the other way, right?
Yeah.
And I said, Dan...
He's a cuck.
Dan, she's lying to you.
Yeah?
She's a liar.
Yes.
She said that to you. She has an engagement ring. She's flat out lying to you.
Yeah.
That's... Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way I looked at it. I mean,
of course.
I've never heard of such a situation.
Unless you hear the guy being like, no, it's fine. Then you're like, oh,
which he wouldn't broadcast to just anybody.
No.
He would only tell, like, you'd have to, like... He would be there while it happened. That's the only way that could possibly...
I'm going to sit in the corner on this chair. I'm going to watch. You're not allowed to look at me. No eye contact.
What was that one movie?
Are you talking about the? Oh, there's
that Blue Velvet where he's like, "Don't you fucking look at me!
Don't you look at me!" No, or the was it the Mr. Show sketch? Of course, with the I like to jerk off while pies are cooling. Like when friends are over, so like he has to get in the closet, like only when pies are being cooled. Like it's like just ridiculous fetish.
And by the way,
yeah,
I met this supposed redhead, auburn-haired woman.
Yeah,
and I thought she was hot when I saw her, but that was across the distance of the bar.
Yeah, the bar, the lighting in the bar is flattering.
Drinking haze that distorts the image as well.
Beer goggles, if you will.
Well, I didn't necessarily have them on, but I'm telling you, you get the lighting and that the...
Oh, yeah, the ambiance. You're having a good time,
at
chatting.
15 feet away, I was like, she's hot.
Yeah.
Then she kept coming back and back, night after night.
Uh-huh.
And I talked to her a little bit. And she wasn't as good that up close. And not that I hate to kind of, I just pretty much broke it down the way I broke it down. But I would say that, so then I chatted with her a little bit.
Yeah.
And she was fucking like ice cold.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like striking up a conversation. And I said, I was talking about how I liked whiskey, but I didn't like vodka.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what's great? Like gin.
Gin's good.
Gin's like something that like, and once you learn, and I'll repeat it right now because I just believe in this.
Yep.
Once you learn how to enjoy gin, you have an edge on all of your other friends. I don't have an edge on you because you also enjoy gin.
That's correct.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't like gin, huh? Well.
Something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Lauren doesn't like gin.
Because they're repulsed by it, people who don't like it. Mm-hmm. So then when you like it and you drink it willingly.
Yeah.
You're just better than them.
That's right.
You're just kicking more ass.
Well, it's like he's able to do the thing I'm not.
With ease.
Like he can drink the drink that so many people don't like.
Oh, I know.
And it's like,
exactly.
I like gin tonic, give it to me.
It's like an age thing, but also if you get ahead of that curve, you can flaunt it. And you can just... I remember people saying that Fleischmann's was just like poison.
Yeah.
I fucking put that in a drink. I don't care.
I mean,
there's better stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously. But... we're men here.
Yeah.
We're drinking gin.
Well, the thing is that like if the people that say that's poison, it's because they're in college and it's all they can afford, and they're drinking like one of those every night. You know what I mean? Like they're having that and everything. And it just kind of runs together with hangovers. It's like, well, if you're not like abusing the Fleischmann's, then it doesn't get associated with being sick.
That's not my primary.
No.
Gin.
No, of course.
But I pointed out the bottom tier and said, I could drink that. There's no problem.
If you mix it, it doesn't make a difference.
Exactly.
I think. I mean, you can. I don't really care. I get rail gin.
I can mix gin with shitty stuff. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Diet Sierra Mist.
There it
gin.
is.
I drink anyway. So.
Yep.
Last night.
Yep.
The auburn-haired girl was there.
Okay.
This was the night of the jaw breaking.
Oh,
the night of the beating.
Okay.
And she had an order, and I saw her name on the ticket, and I was like, oh, she's here.
All right.
And so, we were working in the kitchen, give her the food. Night ended. And somewhere in between the night ended, her being at the bar, and noon today, his jaw was possibly broken, and he suffered a beating.
Wow.
At someone's house. Which leads me to believe that he was in not only with the wrong person.
Yes.
He was in the wrong fucking house.
Yes.
And somebody arrived.
Yes.
And a beating occurred.
In flagrante delicto. He was in the act.
He's actually...
that was a movie.
Dumb enough. That's a movie.
I'm just saying that's like the movie. Like walking in on someone. Like that happened.
Happening sideways.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what
hilarious
the fuck
scene, by the way.
Exactly. Always hilarious.
Thomas Hayden Church had enough whimsy and good charm to get himself out of that.
Yeah, he ran away naked to the car.
This guy
got out of there.
Dan, not so much.
No, he wasn't able to get out of there. Well, sometimes you learn.
He could drink so much, he doesn't have his wits about him.
I just think that.
But isn't that? I mean, what it's like. Was there ever logic in any of this? I mean, what did you?
Yeah.
Everybody should know at this point, or at least I do.
Yeah.
That typically you're not going to see fist fights out in the street anymore.
No.
These days.
No.
But you will see people get beatings over this type of thing.
Yeah, this is what people get beat up over.
Especially amongst, like... This would be the main instigator of fighting.
Yeah.
For men.
Yep.
Who are grown.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah, like mid-20s, late 20s, or early 30s.
From then to
beyond, like when you're death. Like 60, you don't give a shit anymore.
Well, then you just grab weapons.
Yeah.
It gets uglier.
Because you don't care if you live or die.
You already got some type of ailment.
If I live or die. Get off my woman. Yeah. No.
Get off. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
But
so you're here.
Hopefully his jaw isn't broken.
Nobody's need it wired shut.
Yeah. Well.
You don't have to drink. Well, that might be good
for me.
Yeah.
I won't have to hear any more. He's not bad to listen to, but it's because we don't have like a lot in common that we don't talk a lot.
That's always the worst, huh? When you have like a work friend that you are friends because you're at work and you have like maybe one thing in common that you're just like, oh yeah, remember that the sports team that we both talk about? That's all we can talk about because the only thing we have in common is this one thing. All right, see ya.
What else was great?
Yeah.
In his adventures, and I think he's only worked there for 2 months.
Yeah.
He showed up one day, and he had it was like a kind of like humid, or not humid, just kind of, for an October day, it was just kind of like hot in the bar.
Okay.
And he had the turtleneck up and everything. I didn't notice or care.
Yeah. And
then he's like, I'm sweating. What do you say? I'm sweating like a whore in church on Sunday. I'm like, okay. And he's like, Dad, this one girl, she was like necking on me all night. I got bruises all over, and she tried to choke me a little bit. And I saw that chick too.
This guy doesn't seem like a very fun person to be around.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like just constantly bragging about his exploits.
Instantly like repulsed.
Yeah.
I try to look forward, since I'm going to work with him. I try to look forward, or I try to look to the positive aspects.
Yeah, fair enough. That you have to deal with it.
Before he begins his drinking, he doesn't turn into a more arrogant person.
Yeah.
But not my cup of tea, a lot of this stuff. And I saw that girl too, and I was, you know what I mean? It was just kind of like I don't quite see I mean, hey, anybody can do what they want to do, but now if it's come back to me, hasn't it? Now I'm being asked to work extra because because angry boyfriends are arriving.
Yeah,
and
it has now
punching
affected
people
your
in the
life.
jaw.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a fun situation.
I mean, it's just all pretty avoidable stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
seems like stuff you could get over pretty easy.
I'm like, could you maybe go like meet someone and date them?
Yeah.
Maybe meeting all of your partners at the bar
that
at
you work
2 a.m. isn't the best idea.
Yeah. It's like shitting where he eats, though. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, these people know where he works. They know where he lives.
It makes him easy to spot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes it easy to find his car to break the windows out of.
Yep.
You know, like... Yeah.
And if you don't want to deal with these types anymore, female or otherwise, you can't really get rid of them either.
Yeah,
because they can just keep showing up.
Yeah,
can't
you
they?
can't leave. You can't leave. You can't change where you work unless you want to quit. You know, like
right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
kind of shenanigans.
Yep,
shenanigans occurring.
That's what your life is. Shenanigans.
Maybe someday he'll realize kind of some of these events are a bad thing. But if some guy punching him in the face isn't going to teach him that, then
yeah.
So this is pretty much the moment of truth. I guess I'm gonna find out pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
okay. Well, we got a segment here that I wanted to do now that you're back. Dear Lance, it's a segment we did for a while when you were around, the story you told to tie-in is great. Husbands multiple, and this is just where we read a Dear Abby and give our takes on, because Abby's advice not always the best.
And no one's gonna actually send us advice.
No
questions.
Why would they? Because we're going to basically make fun of them,
right?
When they do it. So
we're gonna ape her questions.
Yes, exactly. Dear Abby, my husband of 5 years has confessed to affairs that resulted in 2 children. I suspected something was up when, after a year of marriage, he seemed distant. Despite our 15-year age difference, I never in a million years
Which
thought
way, I
he
wonder.
would do something to this. I got to assume she's younger. You know what I mean?
You think so?
Oh, yeah. There's no way a guy is dating an old lady and sleeping around on her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He wouldn't be dating an old lady. This is
That's true.
This is a hot piece that he settled down with. You know what I mean? And now he's like, oh wait, actually I still like fucking around. So anyway, a few months ago he started disappearing again. At first it was a day here and a day there, but then it became weeks. Just disappearing for weeks. And I finally confronted him and he confessed about the affairs. He claims that a mother of the newborn is a prostitute.
Oh,
and that
boy.
it was a mistake.
Is this guy a trucker?
I know, right? He wants to be involved in the 3-year-old little girl's life.
Oh, pathetic.
But not the newborns. There's 2 children.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to get confused.
Mm-hmm.
The prostitutes is a newborn, right?
Yes.
Where's the other newborn from?
Oh, no, the 3-year-old.
That's also from the prostitute?
Maybe it's the same prostitute. I don't know. It doesn't say.
Okay.
Anyway. Well, we'll keep reading. He wants to be in blah, blah, blah. At that point, I told him he needed to leave and remove his belongings from the house.
Yep.
My friends say that legally, I can't put him out of the house he owned before we were married. However, he did buy the home during our marriage. I found that out accidentally. It's where the 3-year-old lives. Oh, he did buy a home while we were married. It's where the 3-year-old lives. Yeah, this guy's older. He's buying houses and shit. So he bought his side piece that he got knocked up.
A
house.
Why would you do that?
I feel I'm entitled to something. I asked him to have the other child's mother move, but he refused. Where does that leave me? With nothing? I don't know what to do. I don't have money for a lawyer and have nowhere to go. Please advise. What a mess in Philadelphia.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what Dear Abby says. Your friends mean well, but you do need a more informed source of information than they can offer because divorce laws vary from state to state. Go online to womenslaw.org and search for divorce in Pennsylvania. You'll find basic information about divorce laws in your state, which I think you'll find both interesting and rewarding. That's literally all she has. She said literally...
That's not even good advice.
Yeah, it is. It's fine advice. But
it's okay.
It's the most basic advice. It's literally Google it. Google it. Google divorce law, Pennsylvania. Yeah. No, the advice I would have is, well, I would say you did the right thing by kicking this guy out.
Easy.
Yeah.
What she has to do.
What? What's this, Lance?
Oh, my God. I don't have the money. I don't have the... Shut up. Okay, here's what you're going to do.
Oh, boy. Lance is going to get hard here. Oh, that sounded bad. Lance is going to take the hard line. There we are.
Here's what you got to do. Everybody knows you already got a kid.
Yeah.
You're married.
No, they don't have a kid. I didn't say that.
Doesn't she? Does he only banging out kids with the prostitute? He doesn't have any kids with his wife?
Yeah, it doesn't say that. It just says there's kids with the other women.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, here's what you do.
Maybe they have kids, but it's not in here.
Let's go ahead as if she doesn't have kids.
Yeah.
Because she probably would have mentioned it a lot anyway if she did.
Yeah.
Every divorce is skewed towards women, no matter where you're at.
The law, yes.
Yes.
100%.
So what you do is you hire a private investigator and you have him follow him around.
Yeah.
And you get all the fucking retarded dirt on this guy because it's really dumb. And it's, oh yeah, she's a whore. She got arrested for hooking. She's used crack. She's done this. He's having... You just take all the documented evidence to the judge, and you fucking take his house. Yeah. It's not that hard.
Well,
this is, usually we kind of joke around. Yeah. This was just such an easy one for me. I was just going to basically tell her what to do.
Yeah.
It was, let's be honest.
Yeah. So, dear woman in Philadelphia, the advice is, and I would think that the law is, it doesn't matter if he owned the house before they got married. I think when
get yourself checked out for STDs, by the way.
100%. Holy shit.
And if anything... I mean, you know what I mean? Like, her friends aren't her friends, by the way. That's another thing that she needs to know. Either they're too stupid to be her friends, or they're not her friends.
Honestly, like...
Somebody gives that advice like, oh, you can't really kick a scumbag out of your house. No, you can kick a scumbag out of your house.
I don't care if he says, like, he has rights to be there.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Come on.
If you call the cops and explain during an argument as a woman what's happening, who gets kicked out?
He's going to get kicked out.
He gets kicked out. So you can do that. It's something you can do.
I think the most pressing thing to bring up that Abby didn't bring up was, do you have to get yourself checked for STDs? Because
that's funny too. Yeah, we both thought of that.
Holy shit! If he is knocking up prostitutes, and I guarantee you, if you
without a
are
rubber,
banging, you're probably not using protection.
You can't be.
He's clearly not using it with the fucking women he's fucking around with. So,
yeesh, could you imagine how pathetic you'd have to be to knock up a prostitute?
Yeah, how is that even possible?
That is really bad.
How is it possible? They I'm sure
and
most of them. I
spun into her web of whatever that is.
I think it's crazy to sleep with a prostitute. Yeah. I think it's crazier to sleep with a prostitute without a condom. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, you want to stick your dick in a fucking swamp or something? Like,
I'd rather
just see whatever disease you can pick up. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe the woman's, not got anything, but holy crap, you're taking a risk. You're taking a gamble here.
Should have had a little more information.
Yeah. Well.
What are you gonna do?
We can move on.
You gotta move. We gotta make lemons.
We gotta make a call based on the information we got. Okay. Wife's job at the gym has husband in a sweat.
I like it.
Yeah. Dear Abby, my wife and I have been married for almost 11 years and have 3 children. About 4 years ago, my wife cheated on me and left. This is a grade A doormat of a husband here. And left. After a 6-week split, we decided we wanted to try to work things out. Everything was great up until recently, when she got a job working at a busy gym. Several of the guys from the gym have added her on Facebook and sent her messages. They like all her posts and pictures. I work out there when I go in. I see her laughing and joking with them.
Don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, this has all started to bring me flashbacks to when she cheated. I tried talking to her about how I feel, but she says she says they are my insecurity issues and I need to deal with them, which I think is funny because his insecurity issues only exist because you already got caught cheating on him. So it's very clear why
you need to come to grips with the fact that I stepped out and did something.
I tried talking to her about it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. She says my insecurity issues and I need to deal with them. At this point, I'm contemplating divorce, so I won't go through the same pain as I went through last time. I check her Facebook page constantly to see if she's added any new guys and see what comments they're leaving. I know it's not healthy and it makes me constantly depressed. My wife has no interest in marriage counseling, but tells me I should seek professional help for my issues.
Wow.
If there's any saving this marriage, or is it time to move on? Threatened in Texas. Okay. Part of your wife's job is to be friendly to members of the gym. It doesn't mean she's involved with any of them outside of work. Problem with jealousy and insecurity is that unless they are managed, they tend to feed on each other and grow. While I can't banish the suspicions from your mind, some sessions with a licensed mental health professional might help put them into perspective. It may save your marriage. However, if it doesn't ease your mind, you can always talk to a lawyer. She's literally saying it's his fault.
The fuck is that? Why would you say that to somebody?
Abby?
You're off base now.
What the... You're literally telling this guy whose wife has cheated on him before to be like, hey, it's cool. Like, I understand.
Oh, the marriage counselor that she won't go to? Go to that.
Yeah.
Nice advice.
Real
good job you've done there.
I like that she is... I like that it's like, I understand. It makes sense. She has to be friendly. Like, she's at the gym. She's probably, they tell her to be courteous to staff. And if someone adds you on Facebook, whatever, you can have friends as a woman, who's married, whatever. But I think as someone who has cheated on someone before, you're going to have to be under scrutiny for this. Like, you don't get a free pass here to just be jokey and say, oh, it's just, fine. And it's like, well, it wasn't fine last time when this happened because, people tend not to change, that much. People do change, but not... I can see this just happening again. Is what's going on. Like, she's sleeping around again. Like, no question.
And she's going to start the old disappearing act of being gone for a day and then a week.
Missed
a week there.
I got to go to a gym conference for a few days. And
St. Paul. Whoever the fucking...
I'm just happy I'm not like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done. You know, I'm getting married. But then
Well,
again,
you seek,
I have been married, but I don't know.
You know what it is though? Like in your situation,
well, I found someone that I can spend
people,
every day with.
But with the mutual respect and intelligence.
Yeah.
And
she clearly doesn't respect this guy.
And it's key. If you lose respect, or you never had it to begin with, then the other emotions that are bad come out, like greed and you know what I mean? Like, as long as you have a couple of the main ingredients and that something can last for a long time. Otherwise, you get this type of thing.
I just think it's kind of fucked up.
It's just like how Tales from the Crypt episodes start.
Yeah.
With the guy who thinks that his wife's banging out these guys at the gym.
Of course, it would turn out that like the guys at the gym are like using some super steroids and then like become like steroid zombies, and she's like, I don't know, like banging them to like do experiments, and then the guy shows up, and that's what that Tales from the Crypt would be.
But it would start out like this.
Yeah. No, but it's totally like...
Somehow it would turn around on the guy, actually, in Tales from the Crypt. It's always the guys. They flip it. That's a twist ending.
Yeah.
But,
I just think it's honestly... it's obvious that she's at fault because she's blaming him for his insecurity
what's wrong
issues.
with, like, taking away her Facebook?
Well, you can't do that. I mean, it's
can't I?
It's... No.
Tell me I can't?
Honestly, my advice would be, dude... Ask her to go to marriage counseling with you, and if she doesn't want to do it, say, well, it's very important to me, like, if we're not going to do this...
No, because why would you want to involve a fucking shrink into a mess? Shrinks don't do anything except try to extend their payroll.
Okay.
All they
want...
That
is a hot take that
all they want is to
you
just
and the Scientologists have in common.
Scientologists.
I'm just saying. You ask them about psychiatrists.
What level are you at, pal?
My thetans are fine. I don't need you questioning them. No, but I mean, I don't know. Like, if she's not willing to work on it or seek any help, or maybe not even like go to a psychiatrist, but go on like a marriage retreat or counseling.
You should not trust this woman, though.
He's 100% not his fault for not trusting her because she cheated on him already.
So you start there, and you kind of.
I say divorce.
Yeah, I say, you may be right. If you can't, why can't you take away the Facebook though? Why can't you do that?
Because it's her own Facebook. It's her own life. She can have whatever she wants.
No, she can't.
Well, she can.
If you have a marriage, you can't have anything you want. Can you?
You could tell her. Well, he could say
that's a problem with Facebook.
I understand
that's
what you're
just
saying.
Circumvented. Those are my rights. Those are my God-given rights. Look, you want a marriage or you want Facebook? One of the two.
You're saying
Facebook
she should voluntarily give up
to
Facebook.
Cheat on people.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Just tell her to
don't give her that
stop.
access.
Yeah, just tell her to delete her account or close it
That's where
down.
I would start. I mean, I would say that the social media is basically not worked out very well.
Yeah,
and that will be done. And if you don't like it, tough.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's you don't want to hear things, but
yeah.
Believe me, they're going to hear a lot of things they don't want to hear. They take the other woman's advice.
It's just, I mean...
It's going to cost both of them a lot more money, too,
way.
My way would be better. I think they just get rid of the Facebook.
Honestly, I think you may have been onto this earlier with the other guy, is hire a private investigator, follow her around.
Any fucking divorce case needs a private investigator.
If you think...
if there's cheating.
This is 100%...
Courts value evidence like fucking gold.
This is 100% true, though. Like, you think it's like, oh... This is like some fucking like movie, like a I'm trying like a noir movie, like getting a private investigator to follow around your cheating partner. But that's literally what they do. And you get that evidence of them cheating, and you go to divorce court and like, they cheated on me. I get all this fucking money because they owe me because they.
You know what else they do? They dig up all the embarrassing things they do too, like all the clothes that they buy for the significant other with your fucking credit card.
Yeah.
They bring all that up too.
Yeah,
it gets kind of ugly, but at the same time, courts are. There's a reason that those investigators exist.
Yep, there's a reason why those and most of them, if you ask about what investigators do, is they either are investigating for divorce cases, they're investigating for insurance fraud, and that's like the two big ones, insurance fraud and divorce cases, and then the other one would be like when people are like bounty hunting stuff. Looking around to like where people have been seen, so they can like give information to the bondsman.
Oh, really? They act as like a pseudo bail bonds type of thing?
That's what bail bondsmen do too. Is they do a lot of investigating.
But only in certain states.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we don't have them in Wisconsin.
No.
We
That'd
got
be a fucking
PIs.
sweet job. I talked about this on the podcast at one point, how I think being a private investigator would be awesome.
I think so.
I'm not very inconspicuous, though, unfortunately. Being 6'5", built like a linebacker or a lineman.
Just the right kind of conspicuous.
I'm in Wisconsin, so I do blend in a little bit. But I am very tall. Okay. Self-made entrepreneur. Well, let's... okay, here we go. Self-made entrepreneur enjoys newfound popularity in bed. Dear Abby, I recently started seeing a self-made entrepreneur. He's intelligent and basically the most amazing man I've ever been with. Because of his position and stature, many beautiful and sophisticated women throw themselves at him. A friend of his told me that in the months that I've known him, he's had sex with at least 5 other women, several on the first date. I'm not angry about it, since we never did formally agree to be exclusive, but I'm in love with him and want to be with him all myself. When I confronted him, he said that he never had success with women previously. He's prone to seduction. What a fucking tool bag. He said they didn't mean anything to him, that he wants to be with me. I've dropped the matter for now, but I'm still concerned. I've tried to step up my game in the bedroom. Okay, really? I'm willing to do anything so she let the back door open.
I hope that's not what that means, you think?
I think so.
Oh.
I'm willing to do anything.
She just did herself a disservice if that's what she did.
To stop him from looking elsewhere. How do I make him give up his harem? Willing to do anything.
Harem?
Willing to do anything.
Pious Caligula.
This is what she's called him. I wish you'd... Dear Abby says, I wish you'd been more clearly defined what prone to seduction means. Was he saying that because years ago he had little success with women, he's enjoying the attention? Well, you may be willing to do anything to have him all to yourself. If this man craves variety and is willing to make up for lost time, there's nothing you can do to dissuade him. The two of you appear to be in very different places in your lives. If you want a man who's willing to have an exclusive relationship, you're going to have to look elsewhere. That's kind of the advice I would give, too. Like, this guy's not going to settle down for you.
But why is she even trying to bother... let's be honest.
Okay.
Let's read between the lines here.
Okay. I want to hear your take.
She has already lost.
Yeah.
It's over.
Mm-hmm.
She tried stepping it up in the bedroom, and I didn't even read this into it, but maybe you caught on to that the back door was left open.
That was a joke. I just said the back door was left open.
Maybe she tried to do something edgy though, or something.
Yeah, just trying some weird shit.
And for some girls, edgy is like wearing special clothing though.
Yeah,
and that's not bad. Then you haven't degraded yourself.
Yeah,
if you have left the back door open. And you kind of have degraded yourself.
I just want to say this. I mean, when you title your post "willing to do anything," that's bad. He is not going to respect you because you're willing to do anything, right. And he's going to be like, "Oh, you're just another one." You know what I mean? Like you're not the one, you're another one. And if he doesn't want to be exclusive, then move on. That's it. If he doesn't want to make it exclusive,
well, and let's be honest though, what you're saying is totally true.
Yeah,
but let's be honest. Because people like to spin things their own way, like, well, I wanted an exclusive relationship, and he wasn't into it. You played your hand wrong. You lost.
Yeah.
You can either get banged out by him a couple more times, and then lose again, or you can cut your losses and move on and play the next round. I mean, I honestly think it's over.
I honestly think it's like. When he says something like
what a fucking douche this guy.
I'm prone to seduction.
This just shows what douche his guys turn into once they get a fucking little success in their lives. They just
it's like okay, so the most ridiculous shit is this. I'm prone to seduction.
That was actually kind of a great lie.
It's such, but I mean it's
so vulnerable to seduction.
It's such a bullshit like red flag. It's like okay, so what you're saying to yourself. Is I mean it would be the same thing as like saying like you're addicted to sex. You're just like I can't stop myself.
People have tried.
Yeah. Well,
David Duchovny had a line about that.
It could be a real thing. Who knows?
Well,
but I mean the idea is that if you're just like I'm prone to it's like saying you're weak-willed. Like you know what I mean? You're like saying I can't be tied down, and he's saying that. But it's not saying, oh, I can get swapped up. It's not my fault I got seduced. It's like, no, yes, it is your fault.
That's great. I like that.
It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, no, it is your fault. You can't say like, oh, I got tricked into sleeping with these women, by their seductive ways. It's like, no, you chose to. Right. And so if you're going to not like, make a choice to be settled down, then it's just move on, lady. Seriously. I mean, it's nice that the guy's awesome, but clearly he doesn't think the same about you if he's not going to be exclusive.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Or you could kind of like bide your time and slowly kind of catalog these other women, take them out one by one.
That's right. Hire a private investigator.
Well, you don't need
Find out where these women live.
Then we get that video we had about revenge. What was?
You on the Found Footage Festival?
That was Linda Blair.
Yes, Linda Blair.
Her revenge video. I think you put salmon in their mailboxes and you run a hose under the door.
I think my favorite of that was...
do that enough times and then maybe his suitors
put a bag of cement mix in their above ground pool or their pool in the backyard. Or a bottle of soap or a big bottle of like dish soap in there. But no. One of my favorite was one of the guys in that video said, I put this guy's... my former boss who fired me's name in a men seeking men classified section, and that worked on a variety of levels.
That was the best.
A variety of levels.
That was the best.
I think that's just one level that's working on. Which I thought was good.
Want to say, and maybe we'll visit on this later. Yep. I came across a video.
Okay.
That maybe I don't know if we'll run audio on at some point. I don't know how technology works, but for anybody who wants kind of like a little special feature on this episode, for the next one or maybe just to enjoy for yourself.
Sure.
I found a video it was called Chuck Cito's Street Survival School.
Okay. You'll have to send me a link to this so I can put it on the website.
And we'll put it on the website.
Yeah.
And Chuck Cito is a guy who prides himself on three things. He was a former Hell's Angel. He was an actor in Oz, the TV show. And he beat up Jean-Claude Van Damme in a fight. So then he made like a found footage festival style video where he was going to show everybody the ropes of fighting and surviving in the street. And we'll throw that out there. There is a move where he literally, he has these guys attack him. And Chuck Cito looks like just a mountain of muscle. Like a Guido, powerhouse.
Yep.
And he acts like he rips a guy's dick off and throws it. He doesn't do it. He doesn't throw anything.
Yeah.
But he like makes this crotch grab maneuver and just goes like, "Huh!" Like he acts like he's just gonna throw something. And it's like, what the fuck was that? And then he does a somersault. His next move, it was like the Uncle Rico school of fighting.
Okay.
It was really silly.
I would like to mention
the first 5 minutes.
I would like to mention that I want to make up a term for that. What he did when he grabbed the thing. I'm gonna call that grabbing dog, like a hot dog.
Okay.
Grabbed dog, and threw it away.
I was trying to figure out what it was, and then let me read what my brother texted me about it, because this gets a better insight of what another. Here's what we were talking about the Chuck Cito video. So according to Chuck Cito, I should use wrestling moves on gangbangers. Ha ha.
Yeah.
Because he was doing weird stuff. And his reply was, and also rip their nuts off through their jeans.
Through their clothing.
Throw them over your shoulder. Do a somersault. And take out the other four guys. Don't forget to be creative with your finishing moves.
Yeah, no. Gotta have a creative finisher. Okay, let's do one more of these.
Okay.
And we'll call it an episode. So let's... Okay, so actually, I just want to go over one quick, and then we'll go into the one that I was going to do this one, but there's another one that I saw the headline of, and we just have to get to this one.
For sure.
So this guy's just saying he's engaged to a woman. He has 4 children. She has 3, and they're moving together. Okay, I don't know. Whatever happened to the other husbands, wives, whatever, dead, divorced, whatever. But they're putting their kids together. Everything's fine. 7 children in a house, apparently. My concern is he and his ex-wife haven't immunized their kids. I have. All 4 of my children are up to date with their shots. We've agreed to disagree on the subject. I know. With the kids living under the same roof, there's anything I should worry about as far as kids getting sick?
Yes.
I've read somewhere this isn't good to have kids who are immunized around those who aren't. Truth. The answer is read what the CDC and FDA say about this. They're saying most kids are effective for 85 to 95% of them. But if your kid's in that 15%, they get the mumps from one of those kids who's
children are dirty, filthy,
them vaccinated.
disease spreading beings.
Yeah. I don't care what you read on naturalnews.com or some bullshit. Get your kids vaccinated or they're going to get the mumps and they could fucking die.
I would like to even know, like how far have they gone with this bullshit with the not immunizing thing?
I mean, just it's pretty minor. I mean,
are you immunized against tetanus?
I know, right? Like,
could you get lockjaw? It opens up a whole fucking can of worms.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, I got to say, trailer trash shouldn't be splitting hairs on this type of thing.
Yeah. You're the most prone to getting tetanus.
Get the H1N1, get the tetanus, get it all.
Yeah.
You're better off.
I just think it's insane. Like, people just want to be like, oh, I want my kids to be natural. And it's like, okay, well, you know what happens in nature?
You know what it is.
Fucking animals get sick and die. We can stop that. We have the technology.
Polio? Are they vaccinated against polio?
I know, right? Well, they don't have to be because it's been eradicated because we vaccinated people for 40 years.
Right.
So nobody has to die horrible birth defects. It's fucking ridiculous.
Or live with withered legs.
Yeah.
Well,
or be a kick-ass wheelchair president.
Well...
He did kick ass in that wheelchair.
He read a lot of books because he couldn't go out.
Yeah, well.
But the it was the Daredevil of presidents.
Yes.
But the myth is
Daredevil would make a great president.
Oh,
dude,
without a doubt.
He'd be like, "All right, send me over to Iran. I'll take care of the nukes." Anyway, cut to one awesome badass. I don't know
if he actually knows how to disarm weapons.
He'll figure it out.
Okay,
he can't see them, the buttons or the wires.
It's a shame.
Cut the green wire.
Yeah, right. That's what I was.
I mean, his like special powers allow him to get some sort of like echolocation, like seeing, but he can't see colors.
No,
he's fucked.
He would not be good in that.
They're all red wires. Anyway,
but the that just shows how far that whole like what's her name, Jenny McCarthy.
I know, yeah, it's insane.
She, and of all people, Jenny McCarthy and her big mouth established the fucking link between vaccinations and autism.
Yeah, which happens before you're born.
Which is what we're talking about.
Just so you know,
aren't we?
Yes.
The woman doesn't think that she's afraid of autistic kids.
I just want to say this.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
I just want to say this. If you want to look at the rise in vaccinations correlating with the rise in autism in children, you could also take the correlation of rise in autism in children and the rise in eating organic foods. They match because you can take two lines and just because they look the same doesn't mean they have anything fucking to do with each other. You're crazy. Like, you're going to listen to some lady who shouted louder than your doctor who took 6 years of grueling like science study to get a degree to know what's best for your health. Anyway, that's dumb. But we're going to stop talking about this now because I wanted to talk about that one rant a bit, but this headline is going to fucking blow your fucking mind.
Oh boy.
Grandma's eagerness to see kids naked puts mom on edge.
Oh boy.
A fucking bombshell just dropped right on me. And I was like, okay, let's hear it. I got to hear this story.
All right.
Dear Abby, my mother-in-law is a wonderful lady, but I am having a hard time with how she is around my children. She's extremely obsessive over giving them baths, changing their diapers, and basically just seeing them naked.
Oh.
I've talked with my husband about it because I don't think it's appropriate. I want to discuss it with her, but he thinks it's a no big deal because it's just the way she is. How can I convey the seriousness of this issue, or am I overreacting? Okay, just the way she is. Abby says, I don't know your mother-in-law, so I can't judge her motivations. She was a mother before she became a grandmother, maybe perfectly innocent. However, if something is going to make you uneasy, you must remember that you're the mother. You have a responsibility to put a stop to anything you feel is inappropriate. So she's saying, fucking man up and say no.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what? Huh? I understand that, like, ooh, let's have a funny picture of the kid running around without their diaper on.
There is something there with, like, older women and seeing babies' bottoms. Have you ever encountered this?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Like, pictures in the bathroom where the kid is trying to, like, jump above the... And it's like, well, why is that there? It's because the woman who lives here enjoys, like, that moment of children kind of, like... when they were carefree and kind of like had their bottoms hanging out. Yeah. And they were hanging, but they were out there.
What is this? What is this? A fucking Tupac video? We got bottoms hanging out.
Bottoms hanging.
No, but you know what I mean. It's like,
do you remember that guy? Who's that guy? That singer who
Jared
put
Fogle. Oh no,
the Fogle. The singer who he put out like a photo on Instagram of like some chick's asses hanging out, like waiting in line at a fast food restaurant. And everybody said he was bottom shaming people. Well, it was like a guy with a smooth voice, like was it that Sam Smith guy or something?
Maybe. I have no clue though.
I don't know. I just remember that, and it's like, dude, and maybe it's a little sidetrack here, but
yeah,
when I see a woman's ass hanging out, it's a woman's ass hanging out.
Yeah.
He took a picture of it and mocked it and put it on his Twitter and was attacked for it.
Yeah, people like to attack everyone for everything, though, so...
Right.
You just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. He thought it was funny that this people had their asses hanging out. That's pretty funny. Sure. This is why...
By the way, if you saw the picture, it was laughable.
This is
it was
why,
just like...
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, you know...
And there's no faces,
yeah.
So it's not like...
Yeah, they're not being identified.
When the news shoots overweight people for one of their overweight articles, what do? They shoot the bottom half. You ever notice that?
They don't want their faces.
They're like, obesity in Wisconsin has gone to...
because they don't want to be like, look at this tubbo.
And they do, but they don't want to actually deal with the bullshit that is associated with showing someone's face.
Yeah, and then...
So they just show them from either the tits down or the
That's the industry term there.
Middle portion
tits down. No, I know what you're saying, though. But I think it's funny because it's totally a real thing where, like, you know, parents like to take a picture of their kids running around naked because it's like, oh, it's hilarious, carefree. You get the funny, hilarious shot of their ass and they're running naked down a hallway. It's like, okay, that was a funny moment when you jumped off the changing table and fucking ran around. Oh, hilarious. Remember that. It's fine. You get one. Grandma, you get one of those. You did it already. You don't get to any more. You get the one funny photo to embarrass them on their like 13-year-old birthday party and show their friends. And they're like, haha, you were an idiot little kid. And that's it. Any more than that, and it starts getting creepy. And I understand why.
Oh, and it has definitely been creepy.
Thinks this
sounds like
creepy.
It's been creepy.
And I'll say this: you don't have to be a weird middle-aged single guy who's bald with a mustache to be creeping on kids. Anyone can. Old ladies can be creeping on kids. It totally could happen. So
does that happen?
I'm sure anyone can.
I mean, that's true.
I'm sure more of the people that do are that, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like, like I'd be like, the great thing about this situation though is that it solves itself because the kids are going to get old where they're too old and they go to the bathroom themselves. It doesn't matter. Grandma can't.
It can really be solved by not having baths with her grandma anymore.
We're gonna go home to take a bath. You know, like.
And you kind of manufacture a reason, like, I got they have a skin thing. They got the special soap at home.
Yeah.
They can't. The other soap.
That's a good way of doing it.
It's an irritation. That's no good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you do that, and then when she buys a special soap, you just are like, God, you're a fucking creep.
Take the fucking hint,
Did you
Grandma.
realize what we were doing?
Yeah.
Then you really lay it down on the pitch.
Anyway.
You let it go.
All right.
Hey, but before we sign off,
we got to sign off here.
I had a couple
We're running out of time,
ideas about movie trailers. 'Cause we talked about movies.
Sure.
The Mummy. Any thoughts?
You saw it.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to think it's the dumbest thing ever, and then when I went away from it thinking, I don't care. It looks weird.
Oh, is that an improvement? It's hard to tell.
It is an improvement because I thought it was going to look stupid, and I watched it and I was like, oh, it looks kind of crazy. Like they're blowing up a city and shit. All right. Maybe it'll be good, but it's probably going to suck. That's my thoughts. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't go oh man, because I thought it was going to be dumb. You know what I mean? Coming off The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
But this goes back to the 40s Mummy.
Yeah.
Like we were pretty much discounting the Brendan Fraser movies and
I know, but like that's the last Mummy experience we had.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so seeing this Mummy, and it's like, okay, so it's some scary like lady who's dead murdering people. Okay, fine. Tom Cruise is apparently best action guy we got.
The thing with him is that
why did his shirt have to come off in the trailer?
Why does he have a habit of flying through crashing airplanes?
Yeah, he loves airplanes and hanging off of airplanes.
Tell that these are things that happened because he became involved with the movie.
Yeah.
And I hate to say things like that,
yeah.
but it's like, this looks like Mission Impossible with a fucking mummy. Like, there's no night shots. Yeah. There's no horror shots.
We don't know yet. You know what I mean? The trailer was a lot of a teaser.
And why would you cast a guy like Tom Cruise to be the lead when clearly they'd already signed on Russell Crowe, who's a 10 times more talented actor, who's way more interesting? Tom Cruise is a nutcase. I mean, he's just like, and I don't say that because he jumped on a couch. He's like a hyper fucking just wound up actor. Like, everything he acts in has to have a certain level of intensity, or else he just isn't going to do it. And he's just, and Russell Crowe, he starts talking about the mummy, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little interested here.
Yeah.
But then I see all the bad CG and stuff, and I'm like, why don't you just go with Russell Crowe and have like a dark mummy movie out in the desert?
Yeah.
And do kind of like the Exorcist opening scenes where he's excavating, and he's like, what's this? What's this I've got over here? You know.
So you're saying that the Mummy movie should be a horror movie, not an action movie?
Oh yeah, that's where I come from.
I agree.
This is a horror idea in a horror movie.
Yeah.
To put Tom Cruise in it, and I was hoping it'd still be good with Tom Cruise. I'm not gonna watch this.
I haven't. You know, I think he's been good in a lot of movies. I think, as you know, like, he was good in the original Mission Impossible. You know, like, he's good at what he does. And in Edge of Tomorrow, he's awesome in. That movie's awesome.
He's seen good stuff.
But
I don't deny that.
But was he a right choice for what you want as a horror movie? It would have been kind of cool, I think, with someone younger. Like, you know, and not as action movie-y. Like, it should be fucking mummies murdering people in this Egyptian town, like, and we were trying to discover what's going on, and then we go into deep delve into a cave, and there's crazy mummy monsters that are like
you're going through the tomb, and you're kind of slowly looking through the tomb, and there's the calligraphy, and then there's calligraphy of stuff that, like, this would get a little interesting. It's like, and what's this? It's a picture of person with other excavators. It's like, that doesn't look right. How should Egyptians know what fucking flashlights look like? Yeah. And then you get a little bit further, and then their heads are being torn off and thrown out into a little pit, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then you get kind of get a little bit kind of so that's where I come at with this mummy. I just see it as a horror story.
I think you're totally right too, because when you talk about this, they want to do their, like, a Universal Monster Verse as their, like, new thing, you know, with, like, Wolfman and all that shit. Or not where, was it just Wolfman? Yeah, it's Wolfman, right?
You want Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, who's one of the better movies from that.
For sure. But
great. And then Mummy.
Frankenstein.
That's 5.
Frankenstein.
And Creature of the Black Lagoon doesn't count because it came out in the 50s, and that was all just, he got shoehorned in, and it wasn't a good movie.
Well, regardless,
you watch that movie, it's not any good.
They want to make, like, a monster quadrillion, like a fucking, like epic
universe
series
of fucking monsters.
Yeah, that's the problem too, is that they're, like, planning a universe around this and not, which is why I think some of the earlier Marvel movies are kind of fun. Like Iron Man, they didn't have a fucking universe planned around Iron Man. They're like, let's just make a fun movie with Tony Stark, who's funny. Like, this is cool. I like this movie. And then they started being like, oh, these movies got to tie in. Ooh, so-and-so showed up in the background of this shot. Oh, it's like this. I fucking don't care. Make a good movie. I don't want to watch fucking 30 movies. I want to watch one good movie.
And now we have arrived at the point where Spider-Man is allowed in Tony Stark's limo, and Tony tells him he can't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Homecoming? Who cares? The Vulture's the villain?
Hey, Vulture's a good villain.
I'm going to slide this over to... I just wanted to touch on a couple trailers before we...
Yeah.
I will not watch Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
And I watched all the other 5 movies.
Yeah. Some reason you watched that. Those 2 Andrew Garfield movies.
Yeah, kind of liked Electro, I'll be honest. He had cool powers.
I think Vulture's a cool villain. The only problem with Vulture...
Emma Stone I also like, though. She kind of kept me going.
Yeah, she's cool. I like. She's a good
Andrew
actress.
Garfield had nothing.
No.
He was
Let's make a hunky Spider-Man.
Nothing.
He's supposed to be a fucking teenager.
He wasn't even a hunky. He was another nerd, but he was like, I don't know. Didn't get into that.
Anyway.
But...
Yeah.
Would you watch this Homecoming movie? What the...
I love Spider-Man, so I'll probably see it. If it's good, if the reviews are good.
Vulture? What do they owe the other villains money?
Vulture's a good villain.
Why don't they get Venom?
He's an old man bank robber.
Venom, Carnage, boom.
No, I agree. Venom,
That's all
Carnage.
I fucking need from you.
Yeah.
Why are you dealing... What are we going to have, the Rhino guy in the next one? Like... Just
that was probably the
go
weakest
to the
part
good
of
villains.
That was probably the weakest part of that first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie was like, oh, the villain's a fucking reptile or whatever. He fucking sucks as a villain. He's boring.
Right.
Like, dude, Dr. Octopus, that's the fucking villain you have.
That's
because he's
one.
badass. He's got octopus arms, and he is... Got to get the same actor.
You get with a maniacal science mind. You get a little bit more of that. Yeah.
Or Green Goblin, for fuck's sake. Great villain.
Yeah.
They got the two best ones right there. I like Vulture, but he is definitely on the B tier. You know what I mean? Like the A tier is...
For me, it's just like, just do Venom. Just stop fucking around.
Your A tier is like Venom, Dr. Octopus,
for our generation,
Green Goblin, in that order.
For our
like,
generation...
boom, boom, boom.
Venom is number one.
Oh, dude, Venom's badass. And he's not in a movie
people
properly.
Just get T-shirts of Venom in the 90s, and they just had the Venom shirt, and it was just like, yeah, Venom. You know, they just enjoyed it. They just liked the whole thing. I don't know. It was just... And Carnage comes after. I have a little less understanding of what Carnage is, but you know what? That has to be a better trajectory.
It's like a hell monster. No, Carnage is another...
the Vulture. That's a bad...
Yeah, Carnage is another guy who got the Venom virus, but... Instead of turning him into Venom, it turned him into Carnage because he was like mutated or it was like something.
And that may not be quite as good, but
no, but he's badass because Carnage is evil. Good. Carnage is like a fucking hell monster. Like,
okay.
Terrifying. Like he's like more evil than Venom. Like he's worse. Like it was like
Well, that's the right direction then. I like that direction.
Venom is the best villain by far. Like sure, because he's like is like the whole like corrupt Spider-Man's mind. You know, it's like hey. You're like a kid. I can you can use my powers to be more powerful than you are. And also maybe I'm evil, but whatever, you know, like I'll just show you how to do some cool moves. It's cool in the comics when you have Venom. But
well, Eddie Brock, he just like hated Spider-Man.
Yeah, because he was like,
at first anyway.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Well, I think the idea was that like I'm going to get back at him by turning him bad, you know, like. Anyway, they have a cool relationship.
And then to sum up our kind of movie trailer, because this was like movie trailer week. To sum it up,
they're getting set up for next year.
With one word, War of Planet of the Apes.
Did not see it.
Bad.
Did not see the trailer.
That's my.
I hope it was good. I kind of want to see that second one because I heard it was good. I heard it was really good.
Dude, no.
I don't know. Everyone
watched
said
like
it's good.
30 minutes of it and it was unwatchable garbage.
Lance. I'm just going to say this again.
I watched Terminator Genesis the whole way through, and I could not stomach the second Planet of the Apes movie. Uh-huh. And this is another one.
Well, you didn't like the first one, right?
Not really.
See, I like the first one.
But I could still watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gauging.
Malfoy gets killed by apes, so it's pretty cool.
That was the pinnacle of the film. There's no question that
Draco
was the best
Malfoy
part
is murdered
of the
by
movie.
apes. Yeah, no, but
James Franco moping around wasn't going to save the movie.
No. I actually really like that movie, and I'm sure the second one's good. But I'm sure if you didn't like the first one, the second one you're not going to like, and the third one you're definitely not going to like.
No, yeah. I saw the
I was surprised
ape on a horse with a fucking machine gun on the poster, and then I watched the trailer, and it was just as stupid as I thought it was.
I'm surprised that movie series is still going. I didn't think the second one made a ton of money. But they're just like, we got to finish this trilogy.
I'm gonna go ahead and blame China for that.
Blame China.
Every time a movie franchise gets extended beyond when it should be, it's China's fault.
Yeah,
it's Transformers.
They love that shit. Yeah,
they're gonna come up with more.
Anyway, nothing with skeletons in it, though.
Now, once we get Trump,
did you know that?
Once we get Trump in there, it's all gonna change.
He's gonna make China. He's gonna make China love our, or he's gonna make it so they can't watch our.
They're
movies.
only gonna be able to watch our good movies from now on.
You know what's crazy about China though is that they have a law that skeletons can't be in films and video games because that's like disrespecting the dead. I know, right? So they have to like cut skeletons and like bones and stuff out of movies that they release in China.
I like it.
It's so weird. They have like weird rules. But anyway, that's it. We gotta end.
It.
We're at like 2 hours here, so
we're calling it a show.
We're calling it a show. Thanks. Tune in again next time we have one of these.
And tune in the other times when when the other episodes.
Yeah, it'll just be in the main feed. This will be the Lantz episodes. Well, I'll think of a clever title for this. This will probably come out in the middle of the week versus on Mondays when the regular episodes come out. This will just come out whenever there is one. They'll just kind of drop when we get a chance to record. So
they'll drop like that Avenged Sevenfold record nobody bought.
Drop down the charts. That didn't even get in the charts. It was already off the charts. All right, we're done. Bye.